Purchasing a Tesla is one of, if not the smoothest car buying experiences you'll have. You go on a website, select a few options, order it, and a few weeks later it shows up. However, as a Tesla owner for going on 3 years now, and as someone about to order another one, there are some pretty time-sensitive things that I wish I had known back when I purchased my first Tesla. Also, thank you to Fantech for sponsoring this video, but more on them later. So the very first time-sensitive thing you should do, and this needs to be done on delivery day, delivery checklist and inspection. Tesla has improved build quality substantially over the past few years, and there's a 99.9% chance that your car is going to be flawless, but you should still check. I have an extremely in-depth delivery day inspection video here on my channel that I highly recommend you check out. It's going to have you checking things that you didn't even know existed. I'll also have an actual checklist that you can take with you on delivery day and check off as you go, linked below, that encompasses everything that I talk about in that video. It is a paid thing, as it did take me quite some time to put it together. Right now it includes Model Y and 3, including Highland 3, and it will soon include S's, X's, and Cybertruck. But like I said, you don't have to. The video here on the channel encompasses everything. It's just if you want something that you can take with you that's on your phone and check off stuff as you go. Now, once you are done checking off everything, go ahead and pull out your phone and record the entire car 360 degrees inside and out at the highest resolution that your phone will do. This is in case during your excitement you miss something. Well, now you have proof. Some of you all know this story, but my first Tesla had some pretty bad paint chips at the time of delivery that I didn't pick up on until I got home. Tesla tried fighting me on it, saying those were post-delivery rock chips that I had gotten on like the drive home, but ultimately finally agreed to fix them when I submitted a video that I took on delivery day showing the paint chips. Next up is something that I debated on including, as I didn't want to seem like that I was begging or anything, but the last time I made a video like this and I didn't mention it, it was the #1 comment. So make sure you use a referral when ordering your Tesla. Right now in the US, referrals only work on the Y, S, and X, and you get 3 months of full self-driving just for ordering through a referral. What you get though does tend to change. Sometimes it's money off or free supercharging or both, but whatever it is free, and you're just leaving money on the table if you don't use a referral. If you know someone personally or you have friends or family that have a Tesla, use their referral. But if not, then you can feel free to use mine. I'll have it linked below. If you do use my referral, or even if you don't use my referral, and you have any questions post-delivery, then feel free to reach out to me on X or Instagram via DM and I'll get back to you. Next up is also something you're gonna wanna do before leaving the pickup center. Keys. Tesla is going to provide you with 2 cards. Make sure they work and are connected to the car. Go into the key settings on the touchscreen. There you will see your key cards. Then place the key cards in the corresponding spot and the car should read them and update the last time they were used. This will also give you the opportunity to name the key cards. Main and backup, yours and your wife's or husband's, whatever you want. Now go ahead and put the key cards in your wallet and prepare to almost never use them, as now you're ready to set up your phone key. Head on into the Tesla app and hit Setup Phone Key, then follow the on-screen instructions. Also make sure walk-away door lock is enabled in the car's settings. It does exactly what it sounds like and it's great. And while I wouldn't consider this time sensitive, it is a newer feature, custom lock sounds. Tesla has a bunch of pre-installed ones that you can choose from, or you can upload a custom one when you get the car home. I personally use the clown horn and I always hear it, so I know my car is locked when I'm walking away and my back is turned to it. Also, not to mention that when I'm in a busy parking lot, it's hilarious seeing people's reaction and I just like play right along. I'm like, oh my goodness, what was that? But once you've got your keys set up and sorted, it's now time for your profiles. Profiles are definitely one of the coolest things about owning a Tesla, especially if multiple people are going to be driving it. You set your seat position, steering wheel placement, side mirror angles, and the car just remembers it. From there, you can also turn on easy entry, which can't be customized per profile, but it doesn't really need to be. Just have it slide the seat back a little bit and the steering wheel forward. You can also get creative with profiles and set up ones for something like winter, where you have maybe a different stopping mode, you're in chill mode, the mirrors don't fold in case they ice up. It's completely up to you. Also, do not forget to link your profile to your Tesla account. This way, in case you ever need to drive a Tesla that's not yours, your profile will automatically transfer with you. Great for if you ever need to take your Tesla into service and they give you a loaner, or you're on vacation and you rent one, or whatever it might be. And lastly, for profile and keys, set a priority in the Bluetooth settings if multiple people people are going to be driving the car. We all know that there's a main driver per household. I'm the main driver for my household, for example. So if the car detects both mine and the lady's phone at the same time, it chooses my profile. That way I don't get crushed in the seat because of her 5-foot driving position. Next up, accessories, and I'll have all these and more linked below. I remember the first Tesla I purchased on delivery day. I saw multiple people pull out floor mats that they brought with them on delivery day, and then I brought floor mats with me for the delivery of my second Tesla. And to be honest with you, I really just recommend the basics. All-weather floor mats because the flimsy ones that come with your Tesla are pretty awful. Plus, I'm pretty sure they're still delivering the base Model 3 without any type of floor mat. Screen protector, not because I think you'll break the screen, but because it protects against micro scratches, has an oleophobic coating for a better touching experience, and you can get an anti-glare matte one for reducing glare from the sun. And well, these cars are fish bowls and there's a lot of sunlight that comes in, which also means you should probably get tint. Or even something like a portable tire inflator or vacuum from Fantech. You all know I've been recommending Fantech long before they became a sponsor, and they recently released their new V8 Apex, a super lightweight, high-power portable vacuum. It does up to 19,000 pascals of suction, which is up from 12,000 on the V8 Mate, so around 30% more powerful. And it can sustain that for 13 straight minutes, or you can switch it to eco mode, which cuts the power down to 8K, but extends the battery life to 40 minutes. And if you're a USB-C guy like me, like literally everything I own is USB-C now, you'll be happy to hear that this charges via USB-C and can go from 0 to full in roughly 2.5 hours. To be honest with you, whenever I'm done using it, I just plug it into one of the ports in the car, and by the time I get in the car again, it's ready to go and I unplug it. But an increase in power is not the only change over the V8 Mate. They also added an entirely new feature, an air blower, which if you've tried vacuuming your cup holders or in between your seats, you know how annoying it is, but with an air blower, you can just blow the dirt to an easier to vacuum spot. Also, if you park outside under trees and accumulate leaves and stuff on your windshield, you can just blow them out with this. It's actually super strong. I've also been using it to like blow off my keyboard and whatnot. Being able to quickly grab this and vacuum my car once or twice a week instead of waiting till car wash day, which always seems to be pushed back because I'm just so busy, just keeps my car so much cleaner. Plus, it has a ton of nozzles, including one for dog hair, and as a owner of 2 golden retrievers, yeah, that's great. It's available on Amazon, and if you use my link below, it'll give you a special 15% off deal, plus you can apply a coupon. It's currently 5% off, but that can change. And until the end of April, you can use promo code VXAPEX April for another 7-ish% off. So in total, you're getting over 20% off, and I'll have a free Prime trial link below as well, in case you need it. Now, this next one is something that you probably should have done already, but if not, well, now's the time. Get your home charging sorted. I've discussed home charging and the correct ways to charge in other videos that I highly recommend you check out. Tesla no longer includes the mobile connector with the car at the time of delivery for free, so you can't just rely on that until you figure it out. You can either get something like a 240 volt plug put in and order the mobile connector along with the corresponding adapter, or you just don't want to waste any time trying to figure out which plug is going to be best for you and what you need, and you could just go with the Tesla wall connector. It is double the price at $400 versus $200, but I mean, you just spent $35 to $50K on your Tesla. I assume that you can manage. Plus, it's the fastest charger and it looks super clean. Though please be aware that rear-wheel drive Model 3s and Ys can only do up to 32 amps of AC charging, which is also the max that the Gen 2 mobile connector can handle. Every other spec can do up to 48. Now, another thing related to home charging that you should do, give your electricity company a call and find out about on-peak and off-peak rates. Switching to a time of day plan saved me roughly 30% per month on my electric bill. It now only costs me roughly $5 to fully charge my car during off-peak, whereas before, when I was just on a standard plan, no on or off-peak, I was paying roughly $9 to $10 to fully charge my car. But just make sure that the plan actually works for you, because I mean, it's not really gonna make much sense. You're saving a few dollars to charge your car at night, but yet you're spending a whole lot more because you're using heavy appliances during on-peak hours. But now let's dive into some must-change settings. First up, before you go on your first drive, go into the Trips tab and name Trip B Lifetime and never reset it. This way, when you're further into ownership, you can have a quick way to view the car's lifetime kilowatt-hour usage and even efficiency. Then go ahead and get your dock set up with whatever you like. However, if you're not in a new 3 with a camera button on the steering wheel, put the camera in your dock. One touch on the screen and you have a full 360-degree view of what's going on around the car. Also, this is a big tip, put your dash cam in your dock. If you go into your Sentry/dash cam settings, you can choose how it saves dash cam clips. Automatically, which I wouldn't personally trust in the event of an accident. On honk, which is bad for a reason I'll mention in just a second. And manual. Choose manual. This way you can press the car's setting button and then tap the red recording icon. Or if you have the dash cam in your dock, you can just tap that. This makes for really quick dash cam saves. Oh, and if you're wondering why you don't want on honk, well, what's your first reaction when you're about to be in an accident? That's right, to honk the horn. And the second you honk, that's where the clip ends. There isn't a 10 or 15 second post buffer. I've seen clips where people have on honk and the dash cam footage shows right up to the moment of impact and then cuts off because that's when the driver started laying on their horn. Now from there, go ahead and get your HVAC settings set up. The positions will save based on profile. Set your left scroll wheel quick action. I personally use it for cameras, but there are a ton of different options. Make sure your stopping mode is set to hold for the best efficiency and true one pedal driving. I saw a comment the other day saying how one pedal driving should be illegal because people behind you can't see your brake lights because you're not touching the brake, and it's, you know, do people not think Tesla thinks about this? Like, your brake lights come on when regen starts happening. Enable the auto turn signal shutoff. Very useful for changing lanes and merging onto ramps. Then just make sure your trip planner is turned on so the car will auto route you to superchargers if you need to charge to make it. Sentry mode, yes, it does drain about 1% per hour, but I think it's totally worth it for the security. And make sure you set your work or home. That way you can just swipe the nav bar down or to the right to auto route. Now for supercharging. Just make sure you have everything set up. Go into the app and get your payment method added so you don't have any trouble charging for the first time. If you're able to, I'd also recommend stopping on delivery day and supercharging so you get a feel for it, but to also make sure it's working. And a few tips for your first time supercharging. First, you can click on a supercharger icon for more information. This includes how many other Teslas are currently en route to it, available stalls and/or wait time, what's around it, some pictures, and what speed it is. Now, if it says 250 kilowatt, then it's a V3, and you really don't need to know anything. You can just pull up and charge. However, if it says 150 kilowatt, then it's a V2, which share power in pairs. So just don't park right next to someone if there are other spots open. Always leave a space. Now, while you're at the supercharger, supercharging, go ahead and get your autopilot set up. By this point, your car should have calibrated and autopilot should be available. Now, the autopilot settings available to you will depend on if you paid extra for enhanced autopilot or full self-driving. I have other videos discussing FSD settings, so for this video, just make sure auto steer is enabled. By default, I believe traffic aware cruise control is on, which is essentially autopilot, like it'll slow down and speed up based on, you know, cars and everything around you, but without the auto steer. So make sure you turn on auto steer so now the car will do it all for you. Now, a new recent feature that they came out with was the ability to change between single pool and double pool, and single pool might seem the way to go, but if you don't have FSD, this means you'll have to manually change lanes, and turning on single pool disables traffic aware cruise control, which actually makes changing lanes without FSD easier. So I'd recommend just keeping double pull on if you don't have FSD. Besides that, I personally like green light chime and recommend it, and turning on all the safety features at the bottom of the autopilot screen. Now, another thing you can go ahead and do is get logged into all of the entertainment apps. This includes things like Netflix, Disney+, YouTube, Spotify, etc. Because trust me, if you don't do it now, you'll find yourself waiting in your car one day and you'll finally go to watch something and now you have to fumble around looking for your password, and by the time you find it, you'll be ready to go, and yeah, it'll just keep repeating and repeating. So just go ahead and get signed in now. Also, a little tip, if you don't want to log in for YouTube for like privacy reasons or whatever, or you just prefer to find what to watch on your phone, you can share YouTube videos from your phone to your Tesla. It works the same as sharing a location. Just whatever YouTube video you're watching, just press share and then go to more if you're on like an iPhone, and then scroll over to you see Tesla, click that, and it'll shoot it to the Tesla. It'll automatically open up the YouTube app. It's great. And then the last few things to do. First, you can get third-party apps like Teslafy set up for stat tracking and monitoring battery degradation if that type of stuff interests you. I personally use Teslafy for stat tracking along with scheduled charging because it's much more complex than the scheduled charging that's available in the car. But this would also be the time to go ahead and get scheduled charging set up once you're home. And secondly, watch YouTube. Yes, Tesla has been stepping up their game on instructional educational videos, but I guarantee you'll learn 10 times as much and 10 times faster just watching Tesla creators. And it doesn't even need to be my channel. There are a ton of Tesla creators that provide great information. If you know of any critical things to do pre or post delivery, make sure you drop it down in the comment section for others to see. If you're new around here and you want to see more Tesla related stuff in your YouTube feed, then feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.